the energy and holistic healing community. And in this video, you're going to learn a little bit more about how you can reduce pain. I'm going to be talking about some of the new concepts of reducing pain, and these are also coming from the Curable app. I've talked a lot about the Curable app, and below the video there is a link that you can use to get 6 weeks free if you are trying to manage pain and you want some new, fresh ideas. This is really about how can we change what's happened because we have physical changes when we have pain for a long time, and how can we alter that by using the mind-body connection. What we know now about how the brain works with regards to pain is that we have structural changes and functional changes. So that means how things are made within, or how things are put together in the brain, and how the connections are in the brain change as we have pain for a long time. And this is in the specific areas that process, regulate, and make sense of pain. And what happens when those changes take place that we can reverse, that those changes, though, if they persist, they just make it easier for the brain to stay in the pain cycle. And as you continue to, experience pain, and these neurons are firing together, neurons that fire together, wire together, it gets more hardwired in, and it becomes what we call a learned process in the brain. And so that's what we want to address when we're trying to use mind-body techniques. And now we understand that your thoughts create physical connections and can change physical connections. And so we want to prune the bad connections, start making good connections that will lead to you actually experiencing less pain. Literally, it's not just a woo-woo thing. There's a lot of evidence behind this. We understand that part of what we experience as pain has to do with our beliefs. We're frightened that having pain is some undiscovered structural damage. And I'd say, around half of people with chronic pain feel like it's a sign of damage being done. And it's important to unlearn it, because that is actually not true with chronic pain, okay? So our pain beliefs need to shift a little bit in order to start to help reduce the pain. We know that chronic pain is strongly correlated with worsening anxiety, fear of activity, fear we're going to make something worse, pain catastrophizing, like this is representing something really bad, and then hypervigilance. So we're really attuned to every small sensation in our body. And our pain experience also, what our experience of pain has to do with what kind of stress we're under, how often we're experiencing the pain, and it deeply affects our lives, right? So let's talk about the difference between traditional mind-based approaches that you guys might have already tried, and what we call brain-centric healing. Okay, so first off, so important, brain-centric healing aims to reduce or eliminate the pain. That's important. Traditional mind-body approaches to pain are trying to help you accept and manage the pain, which I don't think is the right goal, right? Let's reduce the pain, okay? Another big difference is brain-centric healing aims to shift your beliefs about the cause of pain and the threat level of pain. Because if you experience a sensation and you immediately go, oh my gosh, something is bad wrong, right? That changes your experience of the pain. So we want to change your beliefs around the cause and the threat level. Whereas traditional mind-body approaches, really all we were trying to do is just reduce the impact that pain has on your daily life. Like, you got to just make it through. In terms of signaling, we are going to teach the brain to reinterpret signals that previously we thought were dangerous and it labeled it pain. We're going to reinterpret those signals as safe instead of dangerous and painful. And versus the traditional mind-body approaches was to improve your physical and emotional well-being despite the pain. So truly, we're trying to reduce the pain here. So, and lastly, provide techniques that's going to navigate the stressors navigate life without triggering physical pain. Does that sound good? Woo woo. And whereas, mind body approaches, we try and give people coping mechanisms. So this is definitely a movement forward. And there's a link, if you're already curious, there's a link below the video to this directly to this handout that I'm teaching you from. So what kind of changes happen when you start to use a healing brain approach? Well, after just 4 weeks of doing a program like this, people start to see reduced brain activations, the researchers, reduced brain activation in the regions that are responsible for making sense of our bodily sensations and whether or not something is a threat. So with practice, and we're just talking about a little bit of time a day, you see changes in what's happening in the brain in response to pain. There is an increased connectivity between several important brain areas that it probably is explaining why at that point, after 4 weeks, people have a reduction in spontaneous pain sensations. And half of all the people that use the Curable app reported that they had a reduction in pain-related anxiety after 4 weeks and 60% decrease and patients experience an average of 59% in pain-related anxiety. Same thing. And then the pain experience. 66 of patients who used the Curable app for a month were pain-free or nearly pain-free. Y'all, this is powerful. And if you are struggling with pain, trying to hopefully avoid medications that might have side effects or cause other problems, this is huge. Oh my gosh. So basically, it's going to guide you through many different short training sessions. An example might be something like a somatic tracking exercises. This is something that you can do the next time you have pain. Okay, when pain comes along, what do we want to do? We want to push it away. We want to run away, right? So this is called somatic tracking. The next time you experience the pain, let's do a gentler approach. And this could help the sensation just move through you more quickly. Would you guys like that? And so when you feel the pain, what you can do is close your eyes. And actually, instead of running from it, let's lean into it a little bit with curiosity. Try and be the observer, okay? And I know this is hard because this is a shift from probably what you're doing now. Try and observe it without judgment or resistance, and let's accept that it's there, okay? It's important that as we get better at this, we're not associating any big emotions with the sensation, right? Because a sensation combined with a big, strong emotion reinforces that sensation, right? And so if you experience pain and experience then a bunch of anxiety with it, we want to try and detach the two and just be curious about it. You want to almost look at it like you were another person watching from the outside. Notice the different attributes, like where it is, whether it's moving or changing, how it changes when you move your body. And let's just try and be purely curious of it and not judge it, actually. Let's not judge it as bad and try not to resist it, okay? The last thing within this exercise that I would suggest is that while you have your eyes closed, I want you to consider picturing a ball of light. This is going to be the healing light. Picture it in the middle of your head, okay? And while your eyes are closed, try and first move that ball around left to the left side, to the right side, just, in your mind. Imagine it moving from the left side to the right side of your head. See if you notice any sensation change. And then send it down to that area. And just notice, be curious, right? This is really all about curiosity. After a few minutes, when you've done this, open your eyes and let's try and just stay curious and non-judgmental about the pain. So that's one of the kind of exercises that you can expect to see when you go to the Curable app. Another one is something called updating the brain's facts, because it's important to understand chronic pain. Our brain is interpreting it as a danger signal. And if you can start to let your prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain, that part of you that is thinking and reminding you of things, realize that what you're experiencing is not actually dangerous, because pain is not necessarily a sign of structural damage in the body. Pain can be present with no structural damage at all. Isn't that interesting? So we want to start to rethink this and update the brain's facts. Even when structural abnormality is there, like something's not quite right, very rarely is that the cause of long-term chronic pain. Interesting, right? Chronic pain is actually perpetuated by neural pathways in the brain. And so that's why we're trying to prune those and create new ones. These pathways create real, I'm not saying that this is in your head, it's in your head, but it is real. They create real and intense pain, but they can be unlearned. Wouldn't it be great to unlearn your pain, y'all? They can reverse the cycle of pain. This is why when people focus on it and associate it with negative emotions, it reinforces it. And especially when it is associated with some kind of negative history, difficult thing that happened in your past. Wow. We have to have this approach in order to truly be able to be free from pain medication and live our best lives. Because understand that you can be in pain and actually be safe. And this is something that once you start to teach your brain these facts, because your brain's like, alert, it's hurting. Oh my gosh, something's big wrong. And it takes us into sympathetic overdrive, that fight or flight, and then we live in fight or flight. That's not a good place to live. And so I want to help you guys be able to truly approach pain from the new way, right? We're switching the signals from danger into safety. And sometimes just focusing on your breath for a few minutes and and doing some visualization, trying to do a little bit of moving your focus away from the area of pain, sometimes visualizing that you're in a beautiful place that you really love. I remember when I was in nursing school, we did visualization with people who were in pain, and it really helped, right? You'd say, okay, imagine the place, the most wonderful place where you feel the most relaxed and the most at home, like you're snuggled in a cozy cocoon of warmth and love. Yeah. So whatever you like, but going to that safe place visualization can be very helpful while we're trying to switch the signals from danger into safety. And, there are more great trainings in the Curable app. I suggest that you look at it if you're dealing with any kind of pain. And in fact, not just pain, it might be very uncomfortable symptoms. This is the type of instruction that is also given to people who are rewiring their brain after an exposure to mold or Lyme disease, because it affects the wiring of the brain, and we can find ourselves so symptomatic with so many things going on, like this pain, this sensation, that sensation, that we get hypervigilant, and you really have to stop and rewire. And that's for people who are struggling with complex medical illness like CIRS, chronic inflammatory response syndrome, mold exposure, Lyme disease, chronic Lyme disease. The GUPTA program is a great program to help you move through that. But the Curable app, I have at least one patient who's like, I tried a lot of things. The Curable app was what got me better after a significant mold illness. And then Annie Hopper, DNRS, Dynamic Neural Retraining System, that's found to be very helpful. They have different styles. So different people tend to like different programs. The Curable app I think it's the most accessible because, gosh, it's just on your phone, 10 minutes a day. the Annie Hopper and Ashok Gupta's program take a little bit more intense engagement. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. And I want you all to be out of pain. I want you to be living your complete best life. And if you want to hear more things like this or be part of a community that's trying to help with holistic healing, this is part of a course that people can go through that for free. Those people who are right now, the only way you can come into the course and enjoy weekly like brainstorming sessions with me live on Facebook and Zoom is by becoming a customer at LifeWave Customer. Somebody asked me the other day about, why would I give away all my stuff? Which is basically what I'm doing, y'all. And I'll tell you what, it's because my health dramatically changed when I tried the phototherapy patches. And I see people get better faster when they use them. It helps the body energetically tap into its own healing wisdom. And so the LifeWave X39 is the primary patch that I suggest for people. But if you do go to my website, I'm pretty sure the link's below in the description. That's a way that you will be able to access the Energy for Life community and courses like these, all of these courses on YouTube, the recordings that you're hearing, they're not always going to be there. You won't always have access to them, but you will if you enter into the Energy for Life community. So we'd love to meet all of you, whoever's watching this. And I do hope you have a pain-free afternoon and evening. And I look forward to seeing you in the community. All right. Have an awesome day. Bye.